What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com, Machine Militia. Check it out, guys. I am not proclaiming to be an expert at UFC. I'm not proclaiming to be a big fan. I do say I watch it once in a while. I enjoy it. And the art form that has become the UFC is actually very fascinating to me. And I really appreciate the training and hard work that these athletic specimens put into their craft. Y'all might have heard this, but I actually heard it just today, as most of you have. Anderson Silva, who came back from a debilitating, nasty, leg bent in half, snapped knee injury, came back to win a unanimous decision facing, what was his name? Facing Nick Diaz. Now, problem is, drug testing, like when they do it for natural bodybuilding, it comes in after the fact. And Silva got popped for drostanolone during a random drug test, and he also tested positive for a second steroid, androstenedione. Diaz actually tested positive, I believe, for THC, which is the ingredient in marijuana, which isn't a PED. It's not a performance enhancer, but nonetheless, he tested positive for a banned substance. And for some reason, I've gotten over 20 emails today from people. Man, I can't believe he got caught. Can you believe these guys are doing steroids? Fuck yes, dude. Professional athletes. How much was the purse? How much did Silva and this guy have on the line? If you can take a drug that most likely you're going to pass the test, if you can take a drug that's going to give you a little bit of an edge over a guy who's literally in the ring trying to kill you. I'm sorry, I know the injury rate in UFC is very low. Who's trying to destroy you to win. And knowing that he's probably on it too, or knowing for sure he's on it, would you take that drug? All that money? Yes, you would. Most people would, very few people wouldn't. And those who say they wouldn't have probably never been at the level that Mr. Silva and the other elite in the UFC have been at, or the NFL or Major League Baseball. And this is why I always make that argument for natural bodybuilding when people say that they're juiced to the gills. I say it's really not worth it. See, while in the UFC, Major League Baseball, NFL football, National Hockey League, while in all those sports, there's millions and millions and millions of dollars on the line. In natural bodybuilding, even if you win, you probably will lose money at the end of the day. You're going to end up in a total deficit, a net deficit when it comes to money in versus money out. And that's the bottom line. There's just so much at stake here. And to say that athletes back in the day, you don't think steroids were around when Babe Ruth was playing or Willie Mays? Everybody's all caught up on records and history and this and that. The advances in training these days are an unnatural competitive advantage. You're telling me that runners sleeping in tents, increasing their oxygen, they're basically the way they use oxygen by sleeping in these gravity tents? Hell, I can make an argument for those stupid fucking masks. The gravity masks or the elevation masks that people are wearing at gyms. That's an unfair competitive advantage. At the end of the day, anytime you do anything over poverty levels, that's an unfair competitive advantage. When I was a kid, back in my day, no, but check it out, man. I remember I played football for Culver City High School. We were a good school. We didn't have a lot of things. Okay, 1, we didn't have a good coach. 2, we had a shitty strength program. And 3, we had no nutrition whatsoever. We had a McDonald's across the street. That's about all we knew about nutrition. We played Beverly Hills every year, who had their own trainer. They had their own fucking nutritionist. They had all things that those little rich... I was about to be a little bit off the cuff there, like I was talking to y'all at a trade show. That's when I get a little bit more Lobliner-ish. I actually hold back on YouTube, believe it or not. Those rich people at Beverly High, you know, I still have animosity. They were our biggest rival, Culver Beverly. I don't know if they're still rivals, but we fucking hated them. Fuck, we hated Beverly Hills. Probably because we were jealous. We beat them most of the time, like 80% of the time. But, you know, we had it out for them. I don't think they gave a fuck about us because they just looked like, dude, I drive a fucking BMW. Shut the fuck up. But I remember we fucking played them, and they had that advantage. And even with us, we had a weight room. We played Compton Centennial, and they had even less than us. So what is an unfair fucking competitive advantage? I would argue that diet and training equipment or just having those people there, that's more unfair than if you took a ghetto kid like we were. I mean, a lot of us didn't have that much shit and put us on a bunch of fucking tests. At the end of the day, we don't know how to fucking train. We don't know how to eat. These UFC guys, they're all fucking elite athletes. These MLB players. And to think that, I'm not going to say that everyone, I bet you there's a couple completely natural guys in Major League Baseball and the NBA and football. But to think that a majority, meaning above 50% of those guys don't use performance-enhancing drugs, and I'm talking, I'm going to say it. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2. Steroids! See, I beat you to this. See, I surprised you. You thought I was going to go to 1, right? Dude, they're taking fucking juice. It is what it is. Is everybody on it? No. Are a majority on it? I would bet they are. Why? Because why the fuck not? All that money on the line for something that's probably not going to affect their long-term health. Probably not, especially the advisors they have and the quality of shit they can get as rich people. I mean, let's be real here, man. Do I think Silva's test was correct? Yes. Do I think that a lot of tests that came back negative were not correct? Absolutely. It's so easy to beat a drug test. I memean, Jason Blaha and I, we disagree on a lot of things. We're actually friends, believe it or not. I'm also friends with Lane. I'm a weird guy in that if people have issues, and even if I think I think Jason was wrong in what happened, what went down there. But I could still be his friend, and it's none of my fucking business. It's between them. They're adults. But Jason's idea on beating a drug test, even though I don't think natural bodybuilders, I don't think there's enough fucking skin in the game to really give a fuck about cheating in natural bodybuilding. My brother's natural. He's 6'1", 184 pounds. The fuck would he benefit by being on drugs? It's not worth his time. It's not worth his effort to try and pass a polygraph test and get advisors for a fucking monetary-less sport. But it's fucking easy to pass drug tests. There's things that are in and out of your system. There's different kind of esters you can take. Drug test passing isn't hard. In fact, I think the polygraph, which is what natural bodybuilding uses, is probably the hardest one to pass. I really do, based on my knowledge of, all that pharmaceutical bullshit and how to pass tests. I've never taken a drug test in my life except for work, and that was testing for recreational and shit back when I was in corporate America. They can't really do that because salespeople are all on cocaine, right? Except for me. I need to start. But I'm digressing. At the end of the day, man, if you're going to be the best at something, you're going to make sacrifices. Whether that sacrifice is like Jerry Rice running uphill every day in the San Francisco hills, which I've been on, and they're fucking ridiculously ridiculous. Whether it's going out like... Whether it's going out like a lot of the good wide receivers out there. I'm trying to think of what's his face from the Patriots. The guy goes out at 5 a.m. every morning and catches hundreds of balls, hundreds of them. And I mean, that's what it takes to be great. And to get that little extra edge from pharmaceuticals, it's going to happen. So Silva, you're still a champion. I'm not saying that the guy you're on was on any kind of steroids, but he should have been. It is what it is, man. It's going to happen as long as there is a lot of money in sports. You're going to do whatever it takes to win. Are steroids cheating? I think they're just as much cheating as it is Beverly Hills having better trainers than us. I really do. However, if you're in like natural bodybuilding, you're supposed... Here's where I'm in a quandary. I don't know if you guys are in the same place. If you're in an organization that you're supposed to not be on something, but you're on it because everybody else is, does that still make you a douchebag? In natural bodybuilding, I say yes, because there's no skin in the game. You're just pretty much doing it for a trophy. But in something where you're looking at literally a fucking $2 million fight, sponsorships, I mean, fame, fortune, what do you think, guys? You know what? I'm gonna post a link down below. I'm gonna start a thread at the Tiger Fitness Forum, and I want you all to chime in. Let's see what section I'm gonna put it in. Hold on. It's gonna be in the I'm actually going back. I'm gonna find out where I want to put this. It's gonna be in the let's let's go the news and rules section. The news and rules section. Click on that. I'm going to link it down below. And I'm going to ask, I want you to answer. Do you think that you're still a douchebag if you take drugs in professional sports where there's millions of dollars on the line? Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, the content site is up, content.tigerfitness.com. Apple Mango Clash is in, Red Velvet, MTS Way, I said it here, is back in next week. And all that shit, man. That's not a game.